It's finally over. Hey everyone, Templar74 here with another Yu-Gi-Oh video, and today's Yu-Gi-Oh video is going to be my thoughts and impressions regarding the latest episode of Yu-Gi-Oh VRAINS, episode 102, Entrusted Wishes. And I gotta be honest with you guys, this episode was a really great episode. It was a strong conclusion to the Bowman versus Playmaker duel in my opinion. We got some questions answered, and of course, my boy Firewall Dragon got a new reincarnation here. And so yeah, it was a good episode, especially if you really love Firewall Dragon like I do, but I digress on all that, so at risk of further rambling, let's move on to the actual episode. So the episode begins with Robopi, none other than Robopi, and we actually see Robopi opening a door that leads to what I gave her. Now remember, before the battle began, when they went into Mirror Link Vrains, I gave something to Robopi, but we weren't really sure what it was. At first the speculation was he was going to give Robopi the means to become smart. Well, we find out later in the episode that there was something else that I gave her, and it wasn't exactly intelligence. But yeah, Robopi comes to this mysterious door, and she pushes a button, opens it, and she's flooded out by this purplish goo stuff. Before we go back to Bowman and Playmaker, where we see I return to Playmaker, and this is when we learn exactly what I gave to Robopi. What I gave to Robopi was a copy of his program, a backup, if you will, because I kind of figured something like this was going to happen, and that although he was going to be destroyed, it wasn't going to be enough to defeat Bowman, and since he has free will, he couldn't recreate his program perfectly, so he gave a copy of it to Robopi for safekeeping, just in case this happened. So pretty much I knew this was going to happen, and this was his contingency plan, and even Playmaker seemed to have been on board with it, because he says, it took you long enough, so it's kind of like Playmaker knew that this is what I was doing, but we'll never know for sure, I don't think, although the impression here is that yes, Playmaker did know exactly what I did. And so I tells Playmaker, I need more time, because now with the neuron link shut off, he can go in and try to save the other Ignises, but he needs time to do this. So Playmaker tells him, okay, go through with this plan, but be careful, because if you get destroyed, you don't have another copy. So I gets the message, and he heads off inside the neuron link and into Bowman, where he actually finds the other 5 Ignises there, and they're actually being absorbed into this massive Bowman program here. And he actually comes across Flame, Aqua, Windy, and Earth first, and he's actually trying to free Aqua first, but as he's trying to free them, the program is quickly rebuilding, and that's when we see Lightning up above them all, and Lightning is telling I, forget about it, it's worthless, you know, we are all going to become part of Bowman as I planned, and Lightning actually alerts Bowman to I's presence here, and so Bowman appears and is trying to absorb I to become one with him. However, I does manage to escape, but not before receiving the last bit of power from all of his friends. Aqua, Flame, Earth, they all give I the last bit of their strength, and they say, take this, go defeat Bowman, and I doesn't want to leave, because I knows the second he leaves, they're all going to be destroyed. But the other Ignises convince him that this is the only way. Go on, defeat Bowman. It doesn't matter if we're destroyed, because we have something close to eternal life. And yeah, we get a very emotional lecture here from Aqua and Flame, who encourage I to just say, forget about us. We know that we're going to be absorbed and destroyed. You go on and defeat Bowman with Playmaker, because it's the only hope for everything. So I begrudgingly returns back to Playmaker, and he's upset now because all of his friends, he watched all of his friends get absorbed inside Bowman, and so now he's back with Playmaker, and he's crying. He's telling Playmaker, I couldn't save my friends, but they entrusted us with the last bit of their power. And Playmaker is understanding to the situation. This is the first time we've actually, well, not the first time, but this is one of those rare times that we see Playmaker actually feel for I and actually mourn with I over the loss of his friends and the other Ignises. And so Playmaker takes this bit of power from the Ignis and tells Bowman that this is the final turn. So we watch Playmaker make the final turn here as he's proclaimed. He draws a card, and he actually does a continuous link summon with the help of a card that was entrusted to him by the other Ignises called Cyber's Codex. And what this card does is, as Playmaker's continuing making his moves, he's able to bring or add to his hand a monster with a different attribute. And it's kind of interesting because the Cyber's Codex card has an image of all the Ignises together and kind of throwing their power towards one thing. That that's the design of the card here. So Cyberse Codex, thanks to that, we're able to pull off a continuous link summon, which actually is able to bring out all of the summoning methods that Playmaker has access to before ultimately we watch Playmaker bring out a new monster. Link 5, Firewall Dragon Dark Fluid, the new reincarnation of Firewall Dragon. Some would say that Firewall Dragon is getting some justice here for its ban in the trading card game, and there have been a lot of people that have speculated that, oh, Firewall wasn't Playmaker's ace because it was a banned card, but I think this goes to show now that Firewall Dragon is Playmaker's ace, because we now have Firewall Dragon, we have Firewall XG Dragon, and we also have this new Link 5 Firewall Dragon. So Firewall Dragon plays an integral part of Playmaker's deck at this point. I don't think there's any denying that, and it's also interesting because we got to see Firewall XG's Dragon too. So yeah, now we got this new Link 5 Firewall Dragon Dark Fluid here, and this card looks sick. Its design looks sick, and it actually has a very devastating ability. The ability is that it gains a counter for each summoning method in the graveyard, and since Playmaker has an Xyz, a Synchro, a Fusion, and a Ritual monster, because we also saw Cyberse Magician there for a while, he's got all of these different summoning methods in his graveyard, and Firewall Dark Fluid gains 2,500 attack points per counter for a whopping grand total of 10,000 attack point increase, and we watch Firewall Dark Fluid make a continuous attack against Perfectron Dragon, and these different attacks are actually the different Ignises. We see Playmaker attack with Flame, then Aqua, then Earth, then Windy, and then ultimately is able to destroy Perfectron Dragon, because by the time Bowman realizes what's going on, that he's in a predicament here. He's in a constant destruction chain that he's never going to be able to break, so he knows he's going to lose at this point. And so we watch Perfectron be defeated. Bowman is defeated due to this continuous attack, and as Bowman is defeated, we watch him get back up, and we watch him reunite with Haru as he vanishes. And as he's vanishing, we hear Bowman bidding farewell to his ultimate rival, Playmaker, and he also tells I that you've closed the Ignis's future with your own hands. Don't regret it, as we watch him and Haru vanish off into the distance here. So now we see Mirror Link Vrains completely destroy Playmaker's back in the regular Link Vrains. I is excited because we finally defeated Bowman, but at the same time, their expressions turn somber as they realize that the cost that they had to pay to do this was way too high, as they look at all of these empty shells that Bowman has destroyed due to the Neuron Link, and we think back to the entire team that he's lost. The cost was just way too high, and that's where the episode leaves off on a somber note. So yeah, like I said, this episode was really great in my opinion. It was a really well done finale for Bowman versus Playmaker here. I really do like that we had some justice for Haru here, and we also got to see a new reincarnation of Firewall. Firewall is my favorite monster from Vrains. If you couldn't tell, or if you don't follow me on Twitter, you probably didn't know that. But yeah, Firewall is my favorite Vrains monster, so to see him get some justice here and some redemption with a new reincarnation, especially something like this, it's just heartwarming to me. Overall, I give this episode a 9 out of 10. It was a really strong finish for a really strong arc in my opinion, and it's going to be very interesting to see where things go now that Bowman is defeated. And so yeah, those were my thoughts on this week's episode, but I do want to stress something coming up in the future here. Now that we have Playmaker with the Link 5 monster, I'm really afraid now that Link 5s are going to become a constant thing. I really hope not. Really, I think that although I love Firewall Dark Fluid's design, I think it should have been a one-time deal. I know it's not going to be probably, and we're going to see a lot more Link 5s, but yeah, I'm not real comfortable with that in the future, but I got to admit, I'm in love with Dark Fluid. I just wanted to put on that note. So anyway, those were my thoughts on this week's episode, but as always, in the comments section down below, let me know what you guys thought about this week's episode. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Did you think it was just there? What were your thoughts? What were your thoughts on Bowman and Haru's reunion? What were your thoughts on the ultimate victory? What are your thoughts on Dark Fluid and its design? Just let me know what your guys' thoughts are about all this in the comments section down below, because as always, I enjoy hearing from you. All right, everyone, as always, Templar74 signing off. Have a great day, everybody, and I'll talk to you all next time. Goodbye, everybody. Hey, everyone, Templar74 here. Did you enjoy the video? Do you want to help support me in making more content like this and see your name here at the end of every video? Then consider supporting me on Patreon. Any help is greatly appreciated and will help ensure continuation and increase the quality of production of the videos that I'm able to make for all of you. Link down below. Again, thank you so much for your support and for liking and subscribing. You all are amazing. And as always, everyone, Templar74 signing off. Have a great day, everybody, and I'll talk to you all next time. Goodbye, everybody.